Welcome to another episode of Redesigning Your Relationships Live. I'm your host, Geovanna Burgess White, my co-host.
Hello, I'm Yvette Valdenegro, and welcome to Redesigning Your Relationships.
And today we have a special episode because it's Valentine's Day.
Aww.
And it's its own little mini episode, and then we'll be back next week with a two-part series. But today we're going to talk about heels and hearts, love for the progressive women. So I'm super excited. And just if you guys have just now joined us, welcome. We go live every Wednesday at noon, and we've changed it up this year in 2024. We go live on Facebook, we go live on Instagram, YouTube, and then we are now exclusively with Spotify. So if you're watching us on that platform or listening to us, welcome. There is a Q&A feature and a poll feature, so make sure you go and interact with us on the Spotify platform. And this episode is brought to you by us and a partnership with HBW. We start our signature series next month, already in March. For those of you guys who know us, we do business workshops, and we just love creating a healthy relationship, what we call life-work balance in your business. So go to the link anywhere you're watching so that you can see a 6-part signature series with us and the women of HBW. It's open to any women in Houston. You can sign up now. If you have any questions, let us know. Great.
Love you. Okay, I've been wanting to do this for so long. Guess what, guys? Literally, guys. And anybody who is in a relationship, female, male, I do not care, with a progressive woman. What does progressive even mean? I would think anybody who's just trying to make progress, someone who's changing their life, someone who's like, hey, I'm trying to get with the times, someone who's like, they're forward thinking, they're innovative, they're doing things in their own way, they're an entrepreneur, they're a CEO, they're a badass mom at home. It's like someone who's just taken the reins and said, this is my life and I'm going to go for it. So we're not meaning to step on any toes, but I think this is a perfect, actually, for the ladies to listen to and for them to maybe slide into the text message with a link for their significant other if they're really trying to understand, like, what is she? Oh my God, I can't even relate to this woman. And what is she doing in her world right now? We came up with some things just to kind of put everybody on the same page and kind of be the voice for that progressive woman. But at the same time, we love love. And there's no reason why we all can't just come together and understand. And if you really do love the progressive women actually in your life, because there's probably more than one person that you, when I say love, I don't mean like there's multiple relationships. I mean, like, it may be a sister, a mother, a daughter, whatever, to really understand. And that goes both ways. I do want to say that I truly believe that great relationships are supported both ways. It just happens to be that this is going to be completely about love for the progressive woman. So let's just get in.
I love love. Okay, so we're gonna start. We're gonna give five little tips. I'm running the tips. 5 ways, five things worth love up for the modern and progressive women. So hitting the wrong slides here. Okay, we'll start with a quote. Love for the progressive woman: a partner who harmonizes ambition with understanding, embraces independence without inhibiting, and cultivates a love that's genuine, deep, and confidently secure.
Yeah.
I feel like we drop the mic and go, that's the episode. Bye.
Well, we're kind of going to touch on that quote summarizes everything, but we're going to get more in detail. Like, what does that really mean? Because to be honest, let's just be real. A lot of people don't communicate. They don't really talk about if can we just do this, or can we improve on here, or my heart is really desiring, whatever it is. And then sometimes, again, let's just be real. If you're on the other side of that, we don't always just stop and listen. And when I mean listen, I mean hear. Really hear what the person is trying to say. So hopefully this kind of opens up the window to, okay, I'm in a relationship with a progressive woman. What in the world is on her mind and why is it going this way? Well, we're going to help you. So the first one, I'll let you do the first one because this is your jam.
I know, it's my favorite. Ugh, balance. We all need balance. And this isn't all relationships. I teach this to my kids. So it doesn't matter if you're like in your teens, 20s, 30s, it doesn't matter. Like, this is important. Balance, balance, balance. We teach that to our clients. It's all about knowing yourself first, what you need first, because you can't fill anybody else's cup if you're not feeling yours first. But super important. You need to match the energy, you need to match the vibe, and you need to understand that every single relationship has to have that balance. We've all known those people that are like super, super codependent, and it's just not good. So really important that you're supporting, and this goes both ways, which I love this little series that or this little episode we're doing, because it goes both ways. Like, although we're talking about the progressive women, everything that we're saying goes to the opposite side of their partner or their friendship, or like you said earlier, whoever it is and that they're having this relationship with. And it also has a grounded presence. So I'm glad that we started with this one first.
Okay, I like this one, independence. Whew. Okay, I would venture to say that most progressive women and people that are movers and shakers in whatever industry or whatever they're trying to do, they have worked really hard and spent lots of hours getting to where they are. And they 100% enjoy the freedom in which they now live and breathe. They're not going to want anything, any person, any being, anything come in the way of that hard work. And that doesn't mean like, hey, the doors are closed. It just means respect the freedom, the hard-earned place that she's gotten to, and the success that she's in. And again, that goes both ways. I think if you respect that and you realize it's not that that person doesn't want to spend time with you. It's not that they aren't in love with you. It's not that they don't love cozying up at the end of the day. It just means while she's in her moment, while she's at work, while she is doing her thing, she wants to have that freedom and independence without feeling like, oh gosh, now I got to go. And I hate to say this, like babysit, nurture, take care of. And yes, those things are super important and they have their place, but not so consistent that she feels that tug, that she's constantly like, I feel like I have a weight on my leg, instead of the opposite of someone saying, well, let me hold your leg up for you. Do you need some time? Do you need extra time? What can I do to help support you? And again, this goes both ways. So even you progressive women out there are like, yeah, you know what? If you don't take the time and balance this out and ask your partner the same thing, how is it going for you? What can I do for you? Do you like your independence? And what can I do to support your leg? Right? Goes both ways. But she really enjoys that freedom because that's when she's in her special sauce, her moments of like creativity, her she's just going. And interrupting that is not going to be it's not going to be as welcome as you think.
The third one, mutual growth. Love this one too. Obviously, a partnership must be attractive. It may but not at the expense of personal stagnation. So this is important because you have to help each other with your emotional intelligence. And then also challenge each other. But like you said earlier, I mean, this communication is part of all this. So we don't have to really put that on there. But if you have balance and you are giving each other independence and you're having these conversations, there's different seasons of life, and in relationships, you're going to go through that. And I think it's super important. There's emotional growth, there's spiritual growth, and then there's just growth in general in your relationship. So it's just important that you're having these conversations and that they're not just happening with the negative, because we always talk about like bad things are going to happen, challenges in a relationship are going to happen. But all that's doing is really helping you get to like the next level or to the next step and helping you guys grow together. And without having these conversations and really spending the time in your relationship talking about it, you're not going to be able to move forward together, which we see that all the time. And that's not just relationships and partnerships. We've seen that in relationship with team, with businesses, even with like kids. Like we've seen that when they move out and then they don't come back. So it's really, all of this goes back to really great communication, but understanding that mutual growth is part of the equation.
Yeah. Okay. The next one, authenticity and emotional depth. Okay, I think this is such a misconception, but I'll explain why. When you see someone who is progressive and seems like they have it all together, and what you see on the outside is just this perfect, vision of success, whatever you're using the term for success, somehow people also attach to, well, they must be a little bit on the superficial side. How did they get to where they're at? They must have stepped on some toes to get there. They don't have time for other people. Like people may have a preconception as to what that woman is or how she lives her life. But the opposite is totally true. Opposite of that is true. that because she is in her world where maybe she does have to be a little bit superficial or go into meetings, a little bit more strong, she has to be strong, or her verbal words that she's using is not what she's going to be using at home with her significant other. It's just a different world. But when she does have the moments of really interacting with you, she wants it to be authentic. She wants it to be true and real. She doesn't want to have to wear the business mask. She wants to be able to wear her heart mask and have that emotional depth with you that she doesn't get anywhere else. She is giving and pouring and doing all the things for other people. So when you get your moments together, that like beautiful water that you get to, bathe in together, it's like she wants that to be true H2O and beautiful with bubbles and scents and just diving into the goodness of what real relationship means. Not something that's like, hey, you're just a checkbox on my list. I can guarantee you a very successful woman is with you for a reason. She sees something in you that maybe you don't even see, but she thinks that you're amazing. So be amazing together in those moments.
And the last one, confidence and security. Oh, so important. And this is, again, two-way street. This is, you just talked about being authentic and emotional. And like you said, having to take that mask off when you get home. She wants just as confident and secure as she is, which is very hard to find women like that actually show up like that and go home like that. They want the same thing in return. And again, like the validation and understanding like the challenges, the successes, all those things need to be felt, but they're not going to be felt if you don't talk about it. All of this goes back to having those conversations, and they're going to look different from when you start dating to when you're together, or when your kids are young and then they get to, middle school and they go to high school. Like, you've seen all those changes, even in friendships. As friendships grow, sometimes they don't stay, and that's totally fine. The whole point of this little episode is just to really understand the behind the progressive woman and the why. Because again, they've worked so hard to really have a great relationship with themselves and put themselves first, and to be able to have a great partnership on the other side, that it's hard to find that. It's hard to find the true balance, to find your partner, and to find the really strong relationships that come and go from your life.
Yeah. I was just thinking, if my comment at the beginning, send a little text message with this link to someone. If you happen to be that person that received a link and you are listening, you are now, 12 and a half minutes, you made it. 12 and a half minutes of listening to all kinds of girly stuff. But listen, if you just did one thing, and the one thing is to say, I listened to the podcast, and my one question to you is there something that you would like to share with me that was listed in what I heard, or something that I need to know, or what can I do to help? I mean, I know those are 3 questions, but they're all the kind of same. I can only imagine the space that you will create to allow someone to go, you know what, there is something I'd really like to talk about. And from there, don't be afraid of it. Don't think of it as, oh my gosh, we're going to go downhill. Nope. The only way to go up, which is really, there's no up unless there's a down.
True.
So go up the hill and work on your relationship, and you both be, how about a progressive couple?
Yeah. Oof, love that. Are we going to read the quote again? Give me one more time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, partner who harmonizes ambition with understanding, embraces independence without inhibiting, and cultivates a love that's genuine, deep, and confidently secure. So those 5 tips, or those 5 things, I don't want to call them tips because they're actual like qualities and values and things that we're instilled with, hopefully help you love a progressive woman. Or if you're a progressive woman and you needed to hear this and send this to somebody, that's absolutely great. And don't take it personally if you got the link, because that just means, I'm going to let you close out. That just means that somebody cares about you and wants them to understand more about you.
All right. So thanks for listening. Again, this was our our Heels and Hearts, Love for the Progressive Woman. You can catch it on, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube are our main things. We want your feedback. We love when you send our feedback. And by the way, we listen to our clients all the time, and that's half the time we come up with these things, because we're listening. So again, we thank you. If you did get that link, We love you too. We hope that everybody has a wonderful month of love in February, and we will see you on the next series, part 1 and part 2. Talk to you